debaters.
They should be hung for treason.
Oh God. Oh God. No.
What do you mean?
Say something then.
Go on.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to stop from that, Rob. Remember my face, yeah? Welcome.
This not-so-recent clip just resurfaced of an incident where Tommy Robinson was attacked on the streets of Luton by a bunch of Muslims who take Tommy as a mortal enemy. What the assailants didn't realize is that right on the spot, Tommy had called in law enforcement without their knowledge.
Definitely feel there's more tension in the air now that we're walking through here.
Yeah, of course. Luton's a very divided town.
You were here when you walked through.
I was the leader, mate, I was.
That's racist.
No, it's not, Bob, no.
Why do you think it's racist? Oh dear, what was that? What did they just say to you? Oh God, I don't know if this is a good idea.
The attack looks chaotic on the surface, but when you slow it down, it tells a deeper story about modern Britain. This was not a planned protest or a political rally. Tommy Robinson was simply walking through his hometown with a journalist, talking on camera. And that is what makes what happens next so unnerving.
Don't point your camera at me, I'll break your camera, I'm telling you. Go on, then you got something to say.
What have you got something to say? Come here. Hey, fuck you.
What do you got to say? Huh?
Fuck you, don't you?
Oh God. Oh God. No.
What do you mean?
Say something then.
Pussy. Go on.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to stop from that, Rob. Remember my face, yeah? Welcome.
As soon as people recognize him, the mood changes. Insults start flying. People shout at him, get in his face, and threaten the camera crew. Some accuse him of being racist. Others tell him to leave his own town. The situation becomes tense very quickly, and police are called to calm things down.
Did you get that on camera? Hi, I've just been attacked in Luton Town Centre.
How are we doing, all right?
Yeah, good. Where'd they go?
Tell me what's happened.
It was very, very frightening.
What stands out here is not who Tommy Robinson is, but what he represents in this moment. He is a man with controversial opinions, yes. Many people strongly disagree with him, and many of those criticisms are fair. But disagreement is supposed to be answered with words, not intimidation.
Get on with your life, man. No point causing a commotion.
It seemed like the whole town was surrounding us, and everyone had an opinion.
Obviously, he's got all the people behind him, all the white people, yeah? And we're in a white man's world right now.
He doesn't have a relevant point.
I think he's made out to be 10 times worse than he actually is, though.
My brother went to school with him and he said he was a dick.
What about Afghanistan? What about Iraq? All the millions of people who are dying there for what?
In this case, Robinson is not attacking anyone. He is not calling for violence. He is simply speaking about his views on Islam as an ideology. Yet that alone seems enough to trigger anger and threats.
Do you think that will look good?
I've got children to take home.
Why is it so divided? You were born here.
Listen, I was born here. Listen, I'm proud of where I was born here.
Clearly, the divisions here run far deeper than Tommy Robinson.
We'll get out of your countries when you get out of our countries.
The truth is, many Muslims feel like outsiders in this country.
What do you mean, get out? You're born here.
Have you ever, do you think, incited any of this?
Well, that's what they're saying. Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. What? Because I exercise my freedom of speech and I'm critical of an ideology. America's going to see firsthand what's going to happen. How their freedoms will be under attack. This is what's happening. This is coming your way.
The message being sent is clear. Some opinions are no longer allowed to be spoken out loud in public. That should worry everyone, not just his supporters.
Just got the finger.
Come.
Do you think we should go?
Welcome to England.
You could feel the tension on the streets in Britain, and there's a lot of anger there. And I don't know how anyone can change that.
In fact, it seemed the only thing the Sharia Patrol and the EDL have in common is that they believe this conflict is coming to the United States. As for the rest of us, the majority, we can only hope the voices of the many drown out the screams of a few. For Nightline, I'm Lama Hassan in London.
Free speech does not exist to protect popular opinions. Popular ideas never need protection. Free speech exists to protect speech that makes people uncomfortable. Once society decides that certain views must be silenced by force or fear, then freedom becomes very fragile.
Literally, say for example, Lee Rigby's killer, Michael Adebolajo. When he Rigby, he handed a woman a piece of paper with 52 verses that he said forced him to do it. That he said. So what I'm saying is, if he's saying that, if Sam Malaby's saying that, if people are literally quoting the Quran while blowing things up and people, then we need to examine what is
Tommy while shooting people, innocent women and children in New Zealand.
They just misunderstood.
One man,
yeah.
They misunderstood the same way you're misunderstood.
But someone also ran over people outside the mosque, and he was also a follower and a supporter of you as well.
What about the Pope?
No, but we haven't got to my question. But we haven't answered my question.
What about the Pope, though?
No. We haven't answered my question. So in the thing, you know, you said that until this book that this is about.
He answered straight away. He said, yes, I do feel the same way.
He didn't say that.
He did.
Yeah, Queen, what I said is, I was quoting William Gladstone. William Gladstone held the Quran above his head in Parliament and said there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book. It's a violent curse.
Suck your mother, William
Gladstone said that, yeah? So William Gladstone's one of the previous leaders.
Britain is often described as a tolerant, open society where different religions and beliefs live side by side. But on this street, tolerance looks thin. The police presence says a lot. They are not there because a crime has been committed, but because speech itself has caused unrest. That is not a healthy sign. When police have to stand between people and ideas, something has already gone wrong.
He didn't talk about an interpretation, yeah? He spoke about... I think, with most Muslim conversions in jails and things like that, they're not converting because they believe Muhammad flew up to heaven.
They're converting because they're shook.
For a brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're shook. They want...
It's not a religion.
They want... You know what I mean?
They're converting to a gang.
They want... I swear, I'm with you with that, because a lot of them, they're converting just for the... Because they can't hold their own, innit?
This is my point. The black community, SMS, all of that, had a time in South London where black converts was literally sticking up man and forcing man to join Islam. But the black community didn't look at it and say this is Islam. We understood that this was Islam linked with these linked with these road use culture, with these road culture, and they was practicing it wrong. Not like the Muslims in the masjid that we know that pray 5 times a day. In the same way, we can see that with these grooming gangs, we can see that it's not Islam, it's Islam linked with British culture, which is called...
it's British culture's fault that Muslim men are raping kids.
This also highlights the pressure many people feel when criticizing religious ideas, especially Islam. Criticizing a belief system is not the same as attacking people. Yet the two are often treated as identical. That confusion shuts down honest discussion.
Don't interview him. He's a racist prick. Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are interviewing me.
Why are you giving him airtime?
They are interviewing me.
Racist rat.
They are interviewing me.
Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are
Fuck him.
They are interviewing me.
He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim country.
interviewing me.
Where that one at?
They are
He's a
interviewing me.
fucking prick. Don't give him no airtime.
Mate,
you hate Muslims like us, so why are you here? Why are you in this country? You hate Muslims.
I'm here under invite, actually.
You hate Muslims, so why are you in a Muslim country for? You're a little rat.
Yeah, good one.
Uneducated little rat.
You're uneducated. You're uneducated.
You're a prick. Get the fuck out of here. You don't want to...
Let me finish my interview. I'll finish my interview.
Fuck this interview.
I'll finish my interview.
Don't point one no interview. Don't give him no time. The racist rat bastard. He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim country. Where that one at? How the fuck does that work?
Not long after the street clashes in the UK, Tommy Robinson found himself in yet another heated moment, this time thousands of miles away in Dubai. While attending a high-profile Misfits boxing event, Robinson was being interviewed on camera when Ty Mitchell, a Muslim boxer from Derby, suddenly walked up to him.
I don't like terrorism. I don't like jihadists.
Neither do Muslims.
Stand up against me.
I do stand up against them. Yeah, I do. Why don't you stand up against the grooming gangs that are white? I've only ever seen you stand up against... I'm from Derby, England. Yeah. I only see you stand up against the Muslims. I stand up... What do you mean what am I doing here? I'm a professional... I fight for Misfits. I'm a Misfits fighter. What are you doing here? I'll go against anything that's against Islam.
Okay.
Against Islam. Grooming gangs are against Islam.
I'm here under the invite of Emiratis, who I'm meeting tomorrow to discuss terrorist organisations in the UK. So that's got fuck all to do with you.
White ones or just Asian ones?
I'm here to meet Emirati Muslims who work, Muslims from here, the United Arab Emirates, who work against
the problem is,
against
let me tell you the issue I've got with you. The issue I've got with you is I'm not bothered. No, but I've watched you stuff, and the issue I've got is you're only against Muslims. Why when a white person does something, you don't question it?
What have I said that you disagree with? What have I said?
No, I'll tell you what you're disagree. You only push a narrative against Muslims.
Give me what I've said.
I'm telling you, saying you only push a narrative against Muslims.
Tell me what I've said.
Why do you not?
There was no long build-up or debate. Mitchell confronted Robinson directly, calling him names and accusing him of being racist. By Mitchell's own words, he believed Robinson should not be given a platform at all, especially in a Muslim-majority country.
Do you not go against all the white people that do it and all the Christians?
Shall I tell you?
In your Bible it says that if a woman doesn't pray when she covers shave her hair up, you don't put that out there, do you?
Let me tell you.
Go on then.
Because 90% of the men convicted young kids in gangs, 90% are Muslims.
Most of the nonsense look like you, though.
That's not my fault.
Most of the nonsense look like you.
I'm giving you a fact. I'm giving you a fact. Majority of nonsense are white. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well then, so why don't you? I don't see you pointing that shit out.
Because it's a majority white nation.
You've got an issue. You come out there. I know. I've seen you on the news. It's a majority white nation. Quran saying that you're against this book. What against the Quran are you against?
Reading things out.
Yeah. Out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context. Okay. And the Bible's far worse out of context than the Quran.
Rather than argue with me, go argue with ISIS, go argue with Boko Haram, go argue with Al Qaeda.
I do. So why don't you go argue with all the the churches? Why don't you go?
Do you believe in free speech?
Yeah.
How about you fuck off and let me finish my interview then?
Why is your free speech only against Muslims?
To him, Robinson's past criticism of Islam and Muslim communities was reason enough to confront him physically rather than verbally. Watch out for what the boxer does at the end. Within seconds, he shot Robinson on camera before security stepped in.
I'm not talking about Muslims.
No, you're I'm on about that's what you're known for.
Because I've got an opinion.
You're a racist,
I'm allowed my
little
opinion.
prick and all once around here.
What's racist
So fuck off.
What's racist got to
Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing, you fucking fanny?
No,
I mean, who are you pushing?
I'm just doing an interview now.
Lucky. Do I look like I give a fuck about you? Do I look like I give a you?
What this incident shows is a clear pattern. Wherever Tommy Robinson goes, whether on the streets of Luton or at an international sporting event, his presence alone sparks hostility. People don't argue with his ideas. They try to silence him with intimidation, insults, and sometimes force. But that's nothing compared to the suppression he faced during this interview. Notice how aggressive they are towards him and try to cut him off immediately he starts reading the Quran. In case you are wondering how Britain became this muddle they are today. Tommy continues to speak far and wide against this high-handedness by members of the Islamic community. Here's him addressing the issue at a recent sit-down.
You talk about not feeling safe in your hometown. Well, I am from Rotherham, and we were shocked and disgusted by everything that happened. And it was hard enough living in a town that had to deal with that. But then the following weekend, the EDL and other members of the far right came to our town.
Where are you from, sorry?
I'm from Rotherham.
Rotherham, okay, yeah.
And members of the groups from the far right, like the EDL, the BNP, came to our town. And we had to lock ourselves away in our houses, people who were Pakistani or Muslim, because they didn't feel safe in their town. 2 streets away from my house, the EDL, members of the EDL and these groups were smashing shop windows and cars. My dad was assaulted because he was a Muslim taxi driver by men who identified themselves as members of these groups. And my question to you is that you talk about Muslim extremism, as you should, because it is a problem. I'm not denying that it is, but you don't mention attacks from members of the far right that attack other people, or members from the far right that go around thinking it's acceptable to physically harm others. You focus on Muslims, you place the onus on Muslims to speak out, which Muslims do speak out, and I think that they should, but you don't focus on these groups that do this. You don't talk about how these groups aren't representative of the EDL or other groups as a whole. I know that you've left the EDL now, but when you were a member you didn't, and I just feel like there are tensions on both sides, and both sides should be held accountable, but
There are, but I think to compare... I think to compare groups on the far right with Islamist terrorism who wish to kill, murder, maim, and they are killing, they are murdering. There's no groups of EDL or groups of the far right picking up young Muslim girls and it's not happening, okay? I know it's disgusting and sick.
Robinson's reply is blunt but structured. He doesn't deny that attacks on innocent Muslims are wrong. In fact, he repeatedly says they are disgusting and should be punished. What he refuses to accept is the idea that all forms of extremism pose the same level of threat.
Attacked. You're from Rotherham. The grooming case from Rotherham. A local councillor, Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference for the groomers. He gave a character reference. The ex-mayor, who's a Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference. After that court case, once those men were convicted for rape, disgusting, sickening crimes against kids, there was no outcry. I'm not trying to justify any of it. I'm just trying to... I remember looking at it and thinking, hold on, a councillor has gone to court and gave a character reference for a paedophile who's raped a kid, and he ain't lost his job. And yet, when you say I don't speak out, I actually hate the far right. The real far right, as we've seen, who the far right I see as the far right.
I don't think it's right to bracket every people who are critical of Islam as an ideology. It is right to condemn what you're saying is acts against innocent Muslims. But the reason why I don't speak out as much about them is because they're not blowing things up. They're not murdering. I haven't really seen many incidents or any evidence of the crimes like in comparison to what we're seeing. I don't think that, you see, the far right is going to grow.
He also points to institutional failures, especially in grooming scandals, arguing that fear of being called racist led authorities to stay silent.
In the coming years, it is going to grow. You will eventually see an attack from the far right on innocent Muslims, whether it be a mosque. But it's like 95%, 5%. The biggest threat to world peace is ISIS ideology. So that's why, as you said, I don't speak about it as much. I do think it's something that, again, the government may not really address until something really terrible happens. But I'm sorry that you experience those things, but I don't speak about them on an equal level because I don't think they are equal.
That, for him, is the real issue. Not attacking Muslims as people, but criticizing an ideology and the systems that protect it from scrutiny.
Follow up to that, you said you don't hear about non-Muslims committing the same sort of crime and the same sort of scale. What would you say to someone who sees that obviously there have been a lot of evidence and reports against British troops and American troops from the West in Pakistan, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, etc. The women there, I know for a fact, I'm from Pakistan, lots of incidences of chopping up sort of the genitals of Pakistani soldiers in the north, that sort of thing. And obviously you don't see it being given the same sort of airtime on Western television, but all of these things are happening and feed into people's resentment against the West, or sort of not. How would you respond to that? Do you think that that is not something that also needs to be addressed?
Yeah, but I don't really know what answer I can give you to that. If people are murdering innocent people and torturing them, then it's sick, it's disgusting, they should be brought to justice. But I don't get what you're getting at with your question, in the sense of I don't take it out. Say, for example, look, Christian, when I see Muslims say they feel upset and hurt because this is happening to their Muslim brothers worldwide, yeah? Well, it's happening to our Christian brothers worldwide in every single country where they're a minority. You've got Boko Haram taking slave girls, you've got all these different things going on worldwide, and I don't hate Muslims in it. People don't take it out on Muslims in this country, do you know what I mean? So it's I don't really know how I can best answer that question. I don't agree with it, I don't support it for 1 minute. If anyone's doing that, it should be brought to justice. I don't really know.
What stands out in this clip is how calmly he addresses emotionally charged questions. He doesn't back away, but he doesn't shout either. Do you ever think the frequent religious outbursts in Britain of pro-Islam attacking innocent citizens, not just Tommy Robinson, are a result of a failed government? Let us know in the comments. Kindly like and subscribe for more videos like this.